Good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I'm actually on time this morning, so that's good. I've got the bear guy going again today. I'll give it just a couple minutes. See if anybody wants to jump in on this thing. Good morning, Eagle Flying. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining this morning. Just gonna get some of these charts going here. Just get them adjusted a little bit. Draw my little downtrend line. Go. Look at that uptrend line we've been in. It's hard to believe this was almost 2 years ago. 2 years ago was COVID. March 2020. That is crazy to think about. Morning, Prima. Morning, Calvin. Bootster, good morning. Good morning. Hey, from Australia. That's awesome. Yeah, the COVID crash over here. It's interesting. Before we jump into today, it's interesting just to see how it came right down to that 200 SMA weekly VWAP. We've just been on a tear for 2 years. The tear for 2 years. Has the 2-year bullish uptrend started to reverse now? Possibly. Recession talk has begun. I had a meeting with a financial guy. What was it? Last week? Yeah, last Thursday. Man, he seemed really bearish. He seemed like he was basically bracing me for a recession this year, but said that he thought the S&P was going to end 5% up by the end of the year. So I probably agree with that. I think we're probably going to come into a pretty big pullback. But the end of the year will be up a little bit. But it's got to come down at some point. It cannot go up forever. All right, so let's look at what we got going on today. We'll start with the daily chart. Yesterday, let's look at what happened yesterday, shall we? Yesterday, we took one long on the market open. Let's blow up the hourly just to look at what happened yesterday. This was yesterday, pre-market over here. We saw price break higher. We took a long on that price break, just a quick scalp on 2 contracts for about $1,000. And then we stopped. We just stopped for the day. I was bullish on it because just Delta was bullish. I should say that I was overall bearish on it, but for the day it looked bullish. So I don't like it when those two conflicting things come together. But we took a long as we broke this resistance level right here. Take that off. That's pretty messy. As we broke this resistance level right here, we took a long, took a pop, like a 20-point pop maybe for about $1,000, and then we just tanked after that. And I was not around. I was not participating in any of this. I shut everything down. And price moved down. Down here, where we saw price recover, Biden gave a speech around 1:30 or 2 o'clock yesterday. Biden gave a speech in response to Russians' incursion into Ukraine. It was kind of a dovish speech. He didn't really say too much, really. I mean, it was just sanctions or whatever. And the market has recovered on that. And so right now we're kind of in that recovery. A lot of this was, on the Russian news. And now yesterday after that speech, it seems like the Western reaction is not going to be too harsh, or at least the market has priced in the reaction already. And so we see a little bit of recovery. We can jump over to the daily. So we'll come back to the hourly in a minute. Look at the daily. We've got a gap up. If you don't know what a gap up is, or a gap, it's when price closes and opens, closes one day and then opens the next day, and there's a gap in that price. And this is a pretty good gap. from yesterday's close to last night's open. So that's a bullish sign. How big is that gap? Yeah, 66, about 50 points. Is that 50? No, 70 points, 75 points. So that's a pretty good gap. That's a bullish sign, particularly because we're down here at these lows. We poked through the lows. We made a new low, but there was really no follow through, and we got this gap up. So I'm not bullish on it yet. I don't think we're coming up to all-time highs. This is just coming up for some air after a lot of pressure. We talk about this almost every day, but we can see this downtrend line. This has now become support. Resistance is now support. And we've come into a little bit of a bearish channel coming in here. Draw that out. But we can see this nice bearish channel that's now formed. I can come over to the 4-hour and we can take a look at that a little bit more just to get some more candles. I'll take this one off to just clean it up. We can see a channel here that we're in. Yesterday I pointed out that I thought that this band, the upper band on the 4-hour, is probably going to pinch in and come down here. I bet these two line up almost perfectly by the time price gets up here. And this is going to be a massive area of resistance, 14,200. I suspect price, if we do start to move higher, is going to get sucked up to 14,200. I'm going to mark a red line there. I think that that's going to be a price target for it up here. We've got some levels to get through first, though, so don't get too bullish on it. We've got right here, 14,100, it looks like. We've got a price point that we've got a touch there on it. And then we've also got something right here, 14,150. So there's several levels, well, 2 levels I see that it's got to get through before I think we can really come up to that 14,200. But I think that possibly there's something up to 14,100 this morning. But again, we've got, again, we are in a bearish channel. So that's a overall bear. It's an overall counter trend trade. I find that we're in this bearish channel. Markets are bearish. Interest rate hikes are still in the news, even though Ukraine and Russia are dominating. The interest rate hikes and inflation are still fundamental causes of concern, areas of concern for the markets. So we can't ignore those. We can jump down now to an hourly. So when I draw these red lines out on my higher time frames, they'll pop up on my lower time frames. So we can see, I'm going to take this trend line, that was from yesterday. Take this off. We can see those levels right here that we've marked out. This blue dotted line is a 200 SMA. This right here is a weekly volume profile, so it's been calculating since Sunday night. One interesting thing you can note is that point of control is down here near value area low. Typically, when we see that, price is going to want to move in the opposite direction. So price has done that. We're going to have some resistance up here at the band, up here at that first level that we marked out, more resistance, and then this one's going to be a big area of resistance up at that 14,200. I'm actually going to make that a little bit bigger, just so we make it width. Let's make it 3. How about that? Wow. Just so that shows me that that's going to be a big area to watch out for. What am I seeing on the hourly right now? We can see if we can find a support level down here. This bottom of this trend line might be support. 20 SMA might be support. Right here, we can see how price has bounced off the 20 SMA right here a couple times. It may come down to this level. We've got about 10 minutes before the market opens. It may come down to this level, find some support. It's got VWAP here. So while we've got areas of resistance up top, we also have areas of support down here. VWAP, 20 SMA, this trend line. There's also this LVN right here, which corresponds with this trend line. Bottom of the band. Somebody asked me what LVNs are, low volume nodes. Volume profiles, this is essentially a graph of price of volume at certain price levels. Areas where there's not a lot of volume, prices where there's not a lot of volume typically act as support and resistance levels. So when I see an LVN like that, or even down here, it shows me that there's not a lot of interest in those prices, and that those can act as support and resistance. I could drink a coffee. My bear guy goes way back. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, it's not seeing much of a clear break. Let's look at what Delta looks like, and maybe I'll come back. All right, so let's look at the 500 volume now. Let's look first at an overnight volume profile to see if that shows us anything. This is you can see here, right in here, this is overnight session. So this has been calculating since 5 p.m. Central Time yesterday. I am on Central Time, if anyone doesn't know. Another interesting thing we can see here is point of control has now come up here at this value area on the overnight session. That might mean price wants to move away, which it kind of has. It's found resistance up here, a low volume area up here, not a lot of volume going on up here. Price is now kind of moving away. What's providing support? VWAP. Low value area down here. Also on the volume profile, what I can say is this darker blue area is 68% of the volume. And then this is the outlying regions where the remaining volume comes in. So that's 21% of the volume. If I'm doing my math right, I'm probably not. No, 31% of the volume comes in out here. 68% is in here. So this is where the highest amount of volume is. These would be the low volume outlying areas. What am I seeing on this? I mean, I'm not seeing a real clear range like we saw yesterday when we came in to the market open. Let's look at Delta down here. Let's look at the 500 volume. When the volume profile begins to generate on this will be a session volume profile. And you can always tell my volume profiles because they're up here. This is a daily RTH. RTH is a regular trading hours. Weekly volume profile over here. And then if you looked on the 500 volume, this is a extended trading hours volume profile, meaning it's the overnight session. So a couple things to note on here. Delta is positive 1,000. We are green on the day. We are above VWAP. Barely, though. Barely. I would say that this is not strongly bullish. It's not strongly bearish. It's just there. It's just there. One thing I can see on Delta is that we're making higher highs on Delta, lower lows a little bit. So it's not looking strongly bearish. I don't know if we're going to get that impulse to the upside like we saw yesterday on the open. However, the bands have opened up quite a bit. I think if I'm just looking at the hourly here, this 40 level would be pretty good resistance, I think. If we broke the 50, we might get room up to 75. I know that's only 25 points and it's not not that exciting, but if I could get 15 points out of that, a pop into here, I might take that. 15 points, pop above 50, up to 74 if price wants to start moving up. And I would also need to confirm that with Delta. I would like to see Delta making higher highs as we broke higher. So I need Delta confirmation on that. If price starts to move up, but Delta is not moving up or it stays flat, then I'm just going to sit on my hands and not take anything. What is that, 1440? And that level is right here. Not a lot of volume this morning, it looks like. I think probably the Russia thing, everybody's just waiting to see what happens with Russia and Ukraine. The news is just, comes so fast and the market reacts to it so quickly. So that I think everybody's just kind of waiting to see what happens. Go back over to my 4-hour real quick, and I just want to draw this trend line. I've got that trend line over here on the hourly too. Oops. Just down here. Shorts would come in below 13,950. 13,950, which would break the 20 SMA, particularly if we got a big bearish candle on the open, like at 9 o'clock, and we close below the 20 SMA, below the support level. I think it would open up the downside for it. So unfortunately, I don't really have a fantastic trading plan. A lot of this market's going to open in 4 minutes. A lot of this is just going to be watching price action and Delta at the same time. Right now, it's looking. I did not have Delta up, and I just saw that we were green on the day. The other indices are also green on the day, about 0.5% on each, except for the Russell, which is only up about a quarter. I would be slightly bullish, particularly after the reaction we saw after Biden's speech yesterday. However, looking at Delta here, Delta's looking bearish, kind of. I know that's not perfectly clear, but that's just kind of how I'm seeing it. Just kind of this bearish structure. So we'll just let the market open, let price move around, probably build some structure. I've got these 2 levels marked out, which I think price might bounce around in a little bit. And that's a pretty good range, 53, that's a 90-point range. So if you're a better trader than me, you can probably figure out how to profit in that area, but I don't want to get chopped up in here, so I'll probably just sit on my hands. And, we may not find a trade today. The Russia thing, I think, is just making the market too volatile and too unpredictable. So, yeah, I haven't even looked at the chat. Oh, lots of chats going on here, guys. Oh, awesome, man. Let's see, from Korea. Good morning, man. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Greece. That's awesome. Thailand, Chicago. Do you think we'll fill the gap? I don't know. I know filling gaps is a strategy people use. But it's not something that it's not like a play that I particularly look at. Like, if I'm looking over here, if I'm not mistaken, somebody again could probably be better than me at this. I guess that's after hours. I don't know. I'm not a gap fill guy. Some people do that, and I used to do that with Forex. Like when I think I mentioned yesterday, I would trade at Forex, and on Sunday evenings I would do, or in the evenings when the market's opened, it was Forex, if I remember, was open 24/7. Yeah, on Sunday nights when the market opened, I would do gap fill strategies with mixed results. I mean, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, like everything, and I don't really do the gap fill thing anymore. I don't even look for it. I just um, trade my way here. Sorry, I'm just looking at this 1 minute. It's interesting, we're bouncing off of VWAP. Now, if I was bullish on it, I'd be looking at VWAP as support. I draw this counter trend line. I wait for that trend line to break, and then I would buy it on Delta confirmation. I would want to see Delta making bullish structure as we broke that trend line on the 1 minute. And start to move back up, but it's pre-market. There's no way that I would think that's valid right now. Louisiana, good morning, Vernon. When it goes past LVN, Lennon, yeah, I see that as a break of support, particularly like if we're like in a bullish, like if price is moving up. Yesterday I took a trade. It's not on here. These candles don't go back that far. But I took a trade and then an LVN formed as support. And my exit strategy was that if we broke that LVN, then I took a long, and the LVN was providing support. If we broke that LVN, price was going to fall. LVN held, so I held on to the trade. And then and if you were watching it yesterday, there was a big LVN providing support. Market just opened, and as that LVN broke, that's when you really saw the bearish move to the downside. Now we can see that this little LVN here breaking. I can see price moving up a little bit. This is probably a buy up to 20. I don't think I'm going to take it though on the open. Do you trade the 1 minute chart? I look at the 1 minute. Yeah, I look at the 1 minute. I look at it all. I mean, you can see Delta here popping. Probably a buy at 12. I'll get at 12 at that break and see. I just see all this Delta coming through on it. I'm going to get out there. 175. That's just a scalp. I'm only trading one contract today, guys. I'm not going crazy on the live stream. So that was just a trade we talked about just a second ago, just breaking this trend line, and then you can see this delta pop on that and down here. So took that real quick. One contract only. I'm not going guns blazing today. I'm not doing the stream. Here, even though we're getting this move down, I think that this is going to probably move up. That's a lot of buying, and that's a clear change in structure on Delta. So for me, that's bullish. I would again be looking for this area of resistance to break, and then probably a pop up to 75. We get it, but it's moving down now, breaking VWAP. So don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Look at the chart. But what I will say is that Delta is not making a new low. So if you wanted to get back in on it long, I would probably look for a break above 14,000. Again, Delta's not really moving lower. So while this looks very bearish, so I'm not going to buy it down here, I would not be shorting it. I would think maybe a pop back up above 525, clear that 14,000 level again, you would get a move back up. Look at this 1 minute, looking pretty good. That's a bearish candle, so I think if we break it, it should pop back up again. Buyers coming through. Still see those buyers coming through. I'm gonna get out there for a little bit of a loss. That was too much hesitation. That should have popped a lot quicker. Yeah, I always hear Kryptonian. I always hear the gap fill strategy. I don't know what I think about it. I think it's like everything. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Well, this would have taken our profit. I probably should have held on to that, but I saw that hesitation on the open. This thing could whip down here real quick and then come back up. So my best bet is to let this thing move around for a minute. Look at that delta. Oh, look at that. I think we're going to pop up. The open is so tricky to trade on the Nasdaq. It can just really burn you. Morning, Eddie from New Jersey. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming yesterday too. What volume indicator is that? How do you get it? I'm using multi-charts platform. So this is a volume profile, I think. Or are you talking about the cumulative delta? You now see delta moving higher. If it's the cumulative delta, well, the one down here is cumulative delta, and then the one up here on the chart is a volume profile. So I don't know if multi-charts has that or not. You could probably find a third party to get that for you. And the Nasdaq is really unforgiving on the open. Awesome, Eddie. You're welcome, man. I mean, you're welcome anytime, man. Love having you. Appreciate the comments on the videos and everything too. All right, so what is this thing bouncing off of? Maybe the 20 SMA down here on the 1 hour. 20 SMA on the 1 hour. I get in at 96 again. Keep buying it. Now it's breaking lower. Let's see if it bounces off the 20 SMA down here. And then my idea is that we bounce off the 20 SMA and then we come back into this area. But don't, if you need to do your own trading, I would not copy my trading. I've lost a ton of money. A ton of money. So again, this is just a counter trend. Not a counter trend. I keep calling them counter trend lines. But maybe they are. I don't know. We have made a lower low on the session, but I think that if we get back up above the 20 SMA on this, someone want to pop back up into this area. Delta's moving lower now. I don't know. This trade may be off. That trade may be off. I may take this off, guys. Peak over at the 500 tick. Does it have room up to 10 again? I don't know. 8 is a 20 SMA. You can see that red line that we drew out down here. We're just waiting for it to begin a bullish structure. Look at that delta. Take this trend line off. It's kind of confusing me. Bouncing off the 20 SMA, possibly, or we break the 20 SMA. All right, took another scalp there, 342. I was just getting out at the top of the value area. Again, I'm just a scalper. This thing may pop higher, but that would be, your exit up there, at the top of the value area. So we bounced off the 20 SMA, that level we marked out down here. You can see it on the 1 hour. And then as we move back into the, kind of accepted range, I'm not really good on the lingo, guys, so bear with me. I think people call this the accepted range of price, even though it's not really a value, established value yet, because the market hasn't been open that long. But if we look at the overnight volume profile, we can see that we've got a nice bit high volume area here that price probably likes. People like these prices there. What do I mean by trade at the 500 volume? This is a 500 volume chart. You just go in and create new chart, and you just choose 500 volume. You just, instead of time, you just choose a volume. So I like database charts a little bit more in my intraday trading. One interesting I'll note, and then I'll talk about that again in a second. Price is up here at the high levels, but look at Delta. Delta is not that strong, so I suspect it's going to come back down now. Hello from Uzbekistan. What's up, man? Thank you. Interneta. Hope I don't mispronounce your name. $342 on the day. Usually I trade 2 contracts, so that should be 680. But man, look at Delta down there popping to the downside. This thing's gonna come down now. Oh my God, look at Delta. Oh my God, here it comes. So yeah, I mean that's just kind of how Delta can help you get out of trades, avoid trades. You know, this thing looked really bullish, right? Big move up. You're like, man, it's gonna break higher. You see Delta not making new highs, not making new highs. As price makes new highs, Delta divergence, and you just sit on your hands and avoid getting chopped up. Hi from Patagonia. That's awesome, man. I would love to go to Patagonia. Now we're breaking that 20 SMA. Now we're breaking that 20 SMA. It's a big area for it down here. I think if it, like I said in pre-market, we've got 18 minutes. If we close below this, I think it's going to open up this whole downside down here, down to this trend line. Thanks, man. Thanks, BD Moves. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. This is awesome. I love seeing the Canada. Oh my God, man. I'm in the Midwest in Missouri and we got it bad. I coach my son's soccer team. We had soccer practice last night. Oh my God. It was like I think the wind chill was like 6 and it was rough outside. We got games this weekend, man. We got to practice. Let's see. I don't know. I'm just sitting on my hands here. Yeah, I was gonna say about the 500 volume. I like data charts or data candles more than I do use the time frame candles because they're just helpful, but these are all time based. So like when something closes like this, it's just because the time ran out on it. So yeah, those are helpful. Those are helpful. And like if I see 1 minute of really aggressive selling, that's helpful to me. That looks really bearish. And then a smaller, weaker buying. I don't know, but we may break this low down here and it may start falling. That's what I suspect it's going to do, particularly on this delta. Am I going to take a short on it? No, because I don't feel like getting whipsawed on it, but it does look like it's about to fall. I need this to close below the 20 SMA though for me to really get bearish on it, which isn't going to happen for another 17 minutes. And again, like I like time-based. I like it when the candles close below the 20 SMA. Maybe that's because other traders look at it too. I don't know if the robots look at it, all the robo trading stuff, but this is based on data, and I put here. Let me see if I can find. I found a decent article on time versus data candles. Charts maybe. I found an interesting article one time on it. I think it was Advantage is a database. Yeah, it was Investopia. It's nothing incredible, but actually I don't know. I think Investopia is okay. Here, I'll post it in the chat here. If anybody's interested in time-based versus database charts, the advantages over database. Ooh, for advantages of data-based intraday charts. So that's what I use. I used Renko for like 3 days. One time I had Renko candles up on one chart. And I thought they were kind of helpful. It was just too much information though. It was too much information going on. So we can see here, we got that poke through. I thought it was going to drop. We get this false breakout to the downside, a little bit of a move up. I suspect it is going to want to come back down though. So I'm just going to kind of sit on my hands, and I think this is a good time to go refill my coffee. So I'll be back in about, I don't know, 2 minutes. Be right back. Sorry about that. Just wanted to get some coffee there. So, go long above break VWAP back to the upside. Are we gonna start moving up? Delta's gone negative. I would be cautious of it. I think it's too low to short and too bearish to buy, if that makes any sense. Too low to short, too bearish to buy. Oh, nothing's in those cans, man. That's just to be goofy. I just don't know. The avatars on this thing are limited, so it's like I could be this or like a creature or something. So I feel like a bear, it just needs to kind of be goofy, just kind of be lighthearted, not take it too seriously. Were my 3 trades buys? Yeah, my 3 trades were buys because Delta, when I took the trades, yeah, I took 3 trades, that's right. When I took the trades, Delta was positive. We were positive on Delta, positive on the day, and we were above VWAP. Those are kind of like my 3 checklists that I kind of use to figure out direction. Plus, just basic trend line technical analysis. So if I look on the hourly, we are making higher lows on the hourly, and one of my pre-market plans was that as we broke higher, we would come up to the top of the band on the 1 hour up here. And this is kind of a bullish candle here on the 1 hour. I thought maybe it was going to come up and then come back down, but right now we're just falling. So yeah, so at the time I was bullish. When Delta was positive, green on the day, above VWAP, we were in an uptrend. So I was looking to buy buys as price moved low and then we began to break higher. I was looking to take buys. But now we're below VWAP. We're negative Delta and we're coming in negative on the day. So bias is changing. And I think it's got room down to this trend line now. We can see here how it's trying to come up, but Delta's not really moving with it. Coming up to my nice 30 level that I like. This might be a short coming in here as we get this. Oh, I just missed that. That's a good short right there on that candle. Let's see if I can find another one here. This thing I think is about to go. We'll get stopped out here if it breaks higher. I'll put a stop there. It's a little too much hesitation for me. That's just too much hesitation. This thing just dropped now. I need it to go. If I scalp, I've just been trading this thing so long. Now it's gonna go. Son of a gun. Oh, this thing is gonna go. Is it? I don't know. I should take my own advice. Too low to short. Ah, there it goes. Would have gone right down to my take. Ugh, story of my life. No, it does. It's really not the story of my life. It's fine. this thing gonna keep falling? You're a better trader than me. I can't. Sometimes I just get so. There's an LVN right here. You can see it. On 290. I should have held on to this one right here. See, let's see if we can find a short. Or should we try to buy it down here? Well, we missed one. We missed our trade. Break of the 20 SMA. Take it down into here. Price really fell through that. Anybody else catch that? I think it's probably passed me by here. Yeah, it's come right down to that LVN in this blue box. I think it's done for me. Dang. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Should have held onto it. You can call me Chris. My name's Chris. You can call me Chris, no problem. Sometimes I go by Kit. Chris or Kit, it doesn't matter. How long did you take to become consistent? Pretty long time. Let's see. I think I talked a little bit yesterday about how I started trading, and you know, I would say, you know, the COVID crash 2 years ago, which is still difficult to believe. It's been 2 years. Was pretty profitable, I think, for a lot of traders. And so before that, I was trading mostly Forex, and then that was really mixed results with Forex. Forex is just, I can't believe I traded Forex for so long. I would not recommend trading Forex. It moves super slow, and it's just not enjoyable. Anyways, sorry, I'm just looking at my order book here. So I was trading Forex, not really enjoyable, and this might come down again here. And I don't know why I shorted that there. I saw these two bearish candles, the move up. I just jumped into this trade. That was really dumb. I'm just not paying attention. 1 second. It's funny because I had this marked out as the support level, and then I took this short. I just wasn't paying attention to what was going on. I had these two bearish candles. I saw the pullback, and I thought we were going to drop down again. Dang it. Trading Forex, anyways, during the COVID crash, I started trading futures to short the overall market, and I just got addicted to it then. I think I went through probably 6 months of trial and error on different systems, and then I probably have only really become profitable within the last 6 months. I probably went through 6 months of just, you know, losing and being frustrated, and then probably a year of being flat, and then I would say within the last, well, no, probably the last, you know, I think I passed my first evaluation last summer. So, you know, I blew up that one, and I passed a few, and I've blown them up since I passed them. So it's been mixed. It's been a mixed bag. You can see how price is trying to move up here, but Delta is staying flat. That's why I took this short over here. I saw bearish candles, price staying flat. You know, one thing, I see that bearish candle in the 1 minute. One thing is, you keep trying to get in on it, and maybe the move is just done, right? Maybe the move is just done. And we're trying to take this scalp at the bottom. That could definitely be it. But I just see Delta. Delta is just looking too bearish for me. Out there. 386, back to where I was after this goof up. It's going to fall, isn't it? Well, I don't know if I'm in the right headspace anymore with this. How you guys doing out there? Has anybody else taking any trades? Hey, Eddie, thanks, man. There fell. Son of a gun. Again, just too hesitant. Too skittish. Is trading my main income? No, it's not my main income. I've got other income. I guess it's like an addition to my income. It's becoming my main income. I mean, if I talk about how much money I can make off of it, but it hasn't yet. I'm not comfortable yet making it my main income, if that makes sense. Like I said, I've only been trading really profitably consistently for the last 6 months or so. I mean, if you look at my past streams, I mean, I blew up a funded account not that long ago. Maybe it's been 6 months now. Maybe it's been 6 or 7 months since I blew up that account on the live stream. So I don't trust myself yet. I'm still learning. Even though I've had some good days, I'm definitely still learning. And I know that this is all fragile. Like, I know it's one mistake away. One mistake away, one goof up, one waiting for the price to turn around and come my way, adding to a loser. I've been in many of those situations, like I'm sure most traders have. Like this one, like I took this stupid short, I shouldn't have taken it. And let's say price did, we hit this area that we've marked out as support. Let's say price didn't want to reverse up a little bit all the way up to VWAP, and I started just adding to it. I used to would have done that, adding to my short, and then up here all of a sudden I'm down $5,000, and price rolls back my way. That's definitely how I used to trade. I used to hate taking losses. I've gotten a lot better at taking losses. This thing's getting through this trend line down here, but we're all the way at the bottom of the band on the 1 hour. I have a business that I started about 10 years ago, and I also do some freelance editing and stuff. So no, I don't have a 9 to 5. So I'm able to spend quite a bit of time with this, and really trying to make this my main stream of income. But it's risky. It is risky, and with a family, I can't rely on it 100%. But maybe one day, maybe in 6 months from now, keep trading and it'll become a full-time gig. You just I just got to get better at it. So we've got this downtrend line now on the 500 volume, which looks pretty strong. We have 1, 2, 3 touches on it. More touches on a trend line, the stronger it is. It's also the band up here. We are hitting the bottom of the band on the 1 hour and the weekly point of control down here. So I'm wondering if it's finding some support. Man, 380. I wish I would have done better on this fall. for sure. How could I have done better on it? Let's do a little post-trade analysis here. And when we broke that 20 SMA like we thought. And my first short was here on it, right? On this bearish candle in the 500 volume. And I got out here. The whole band was opened up. I mean, this was an easy scalp down to the bottom of the band. With Delta, particularly with Delta, so bearish, dropping on it. I should have held on to this, taken this scalp. This was not the best trade here, obviously. Even though it did come my way, we broke higher. So I'm glad that I closed out of it. One thing I'm proud of this trade is closing out. One thing I'm not proud is just jumping into it. This one over here, I got back in on the short, which was better because we had actually formed a little two-legged pullback and a counter trend line. So what happened was we had the one two-leg A, B, C, D pullback. And then we broke the trend line and we took a short. I should have held it though down lower. So I missed out on that. This looks like maybe it's coming into another short. Possible. We've hit 50. What are we hitting? Oh, we're hitting the back of the band on the 60-minute. At some point, it's going to want to pop back up. There's a short at 63 down. Good job, Benjamin. Yeah, I usually trade 2 contracts too, but on the live stream, it's can be a little too much pressure to lose that much money. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's a little too much pressure to be live streaming to be risking that much money. Sometimes you can make mental fuck ups. Try to impress, or I don't know. You put expectations on yourself. Clear down channel over here too on the 1 minute. 3 touches as well. I'm actually looking for this trend line to break. I think you could take a buy up here, even though it's a counter trend. At some point, that is going to want to break. This may not going to be now. Should I have taken that short at 60? I don't know. It's going to fall again. Are we going to break 40 and just drop for the day? No, I jumped straight into minis, man. I was super cocky. I thought I was ready for it. I was trading minis on the ES when I first started. I mean, the COVID crash really kind of gave me a false sense of what trading futures was going to be like. And I was trading the ES mini contracts. You only need $500 margin, so I was taking 1 or 2 contracts on that, and that lasted for a little bit, and I pretty quickly blew up that account. I made a couple thousand, and then just had a massive mental screw up, and I lost it all. And then I was like, now I'm just gonna make this all back in 1 day, and before you know it, your account's gone. So bad risk management. This looks like it might drop again. That's just how it goes with trading. You learn from it, though. This is gonna fall. We're through that 20 SMA. I think it's got room down to 810. I want to see what it does down here at this 30 level. My 30 levels. I like my 30 levels. See how it's now hit this trend line 4 times. Fourth hit on that trend line. Very strong. That's a good place to go short at, Calvin. You can see that LVN right here. Low volume area. You shorted up here at the trend line. It's thinking about breaking that trend line, isn't it? Thinking about it. Thinking about shorting it at 45, but it seems too easy. Trend line's slightly breaking. I do not see Delta coming through on that trend line break, though. You can see we've now broken this trend line. And on the break of that trend line, price popped. You now draw this counter trend line. 20 SMA is big LVN up there at 80. Calvin, you still holding or you close out? We did fill the gap. Good. I hope somebody profited from that. I didn't. I wasn't even paying attention to it, to be honest. Only thing I'm looking at is price action and Delta. See this LVN right here? See that? Pin through that one. We pin through the 20 SMA. Break this counter trend line. That could be a short. 20 seconds for this candle to close. See what it wants to do here. 60. Uh, I see Delta not moving up at all on that. LVN right there. Short right below support. See what this 1 minute wants to do. If that 1 minute closes above the 20 SMA, then I'm gonna take this off. I said if it closed above the 20 SMA, I was going to take this off. But I'm feeling greedy. Fall down to 52. Look at Delta. There's this little LVN right here, which I'm just noticing. I'm wondering if price is finding something there. I'll get out there, 512 on the day. That was just shorting it at that. That was just shorting at that LVN. It would have come down to my price there. Man, not holding him very well today. Not holding him very well. 512. That would have been just over 1,000 if I was trading my normal contracts. Ugh, I should have held that last one. I can see myself trading my P&L. It's been 47 minutes. Looks like we're gonna fall again here, guys. I should have held this one right here. Again, I feel like that's just, I'm going to get a shirt that says I should have held onto it. I should have held it. That's going to be my channel's slogan, I think. But again, you know, this is just kind of how you can use the volume profile. Low volume area up here. Value area low. These areas are also support and resistance. So, and just watching Delta, you know, Delta coming through negative and dropping lower, you can kind of see that. Get this off. You can see that here. So could have taken about 6 more points on it. That would have been about another $120. So, well, it is what it is. And yeah, I think I may just call it a day on that. I got some other stuff I want to do today, so I've been trading for about 48 minutes. And I don't want to push my luck too much. So up 512, I'll take it. Kind of a slowish day today. You know, if Biden comes out and makes any statement or Putin makes any statement, this thing's going to whip around like nobody's business. And it seems like it's maybe finding, you know, it's eventually going to come out of, anyway, I should say, I feel like the big move's done. I feel like the big move, we took a couple scalps on, but really missed out the big one, which was down here. And the break of the 20 SMA on the 1 hour and coming down to that trend line over here on the 60 minutes. So we're just, you know, learning. We're always learning, you know, always trying to improve and see areas that we can get better at. And, you know, I think that if I were to do this again, you know, I don't know, I'm a scalper. So if we looked at what happened originally, come back over here, we can see that price actually did poke through that 20 SMA and then it whipped up. It came back up. So I think my first entry was actually the best one, where we came back down again and we did break through that level, the 20 SMA. Clearly broke through. Delta moved negative, and we should have just shorted it here and held it for a little bit longer. You know, I guess if you were trying to take the big trade all the way down, your stop would have been up here, so you wouldn't actually have gotten that much out of it. But yeah, I don't know. I probably should have shorted it here, held it down to the other side of the band, waited for a pullback like that. This one right here, this pullback. Short the counter trend line back down to the band. Then again, here was another pullback like that. Short it and come back down to the band. So we just didn't hold it quite as long as we should have. But yeah, just kind of the way it goes. Always learning. Need to really let those trades follow through and kind of check your emotions, check that kind of impulse that you feel to close out. Just take the couple $100 and close out, rather hold it down to your level that you think price is going to go to, particularly when it's moving like this. All right, guys, so that's going to be it for me today. I hope everybody's having a good day. Sounds like some guys got some good trades out of that. And yeah, I'll be trading tomorrow. Should we stream tomorrow? That sounds pretty good. I could stream tomorrow if you want. We can do Thursday again. I probably will not be streaming on Friday, but I'll stream tomorrow on Thursday if anybody wants to join in. I'll post that up on the YouTube thing, so we can do this again. I really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate you guys joining. It is really encouraging and it's awesome. I remember the first time I did a live stream, I think I had like 1 or 2 people in there. So this is really cool. So thanks, guys. Thanks for taking the time, and I hope you guys had a good trading day. Again, all this stuff is just my opinion. Everybody trades differently. You should find a system or strategy or technical analysis that works for you. This just works for me, and I have found it to be profitable. My thing I've got to work on is my execution. And so being able to talk through and walk through my trades and then look back and really kind of hold myself accountable for the trades and decisions I'm making is really helpful for me. You can even look back over some of my old live streams or my old videos. I think I've grown quite a bit over the last 6 months to a year. So it takes a lot of time. I remember when I first started trading, I was like, I wanted to learn it within a month or like 2 weeks. I wanted to just be trading and trading profitable. And it's like with anything, you just need to get a lot of screen time, a lot of experience doing it, and finding something that works for you, or finding a product that works for you. Maybe the Nasdaq is just too volatile and it moves too quickly, and you're better at, you know, something that moves a little slower and is more predictable. You know, maybe like the ES, or I think a lot of people have find a lot of success with like trading crude oil, CL. But for me, this is the way that I like to trade. So again, really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for joining in. I'll be back tomorrow. Hope to see you guys there, and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, see you guys. Bye.